Let's take a look at what's going on here on the Bitcoin. Looking at the daily time frame, Bitcoin on the log scale, everyone's aware of the 2022 trend line, not just here on Bitcoin, but obviously across the board, as we've seen that on the S&P 500. We're also seeing that on the NASDAQ. Bitcoin here on the breakout of the log scale, major repair is coming in for the retest right now. It is beautiful to be able to manage risk off of. We don't have that problem because we're not trading discretionary. We don't have to decide when may or may not be the bull market, when may or may not be the top, when may or may not be the point where it rolls over. We have CTM 2.0 to do that, but we do have this unquenchable passion for the markets. And we like to continue to develop our own skills. It's important to continue to develop these skills. It's important to have this overall awareness of the market. And it's really important to continue to really feed that unending desire we have to be able to know and understand the markets. But let's not get confused. So anyway, important retest that's occurring right now. We would like to see if this move is going to continue for this to hold over here. By the way, if it doesn't hold over here, that does not mean that all of a sudden we turn with a bearish sell side posture in the markets. I'm not going to go ahead and draw something like this. And some people have. That would be an aggressive double black diamond. Listen, I'm having fun. I don't mean to confuse. When we get into some CTM 2.0 positioning in just a moment, when we talk about the invite-only script for Cardano on the daily, we'll hone in on that. But right now, we're just going to do a little bit of freestyle. The heading should read freestyle right now, right? And from CTM 1.0, someone might say, well, that's a double black diamond entry. But it's coming right into, it's the angle is, first of all, extraordinarily steep, right? That's probably a trail even I wouldn't get on. But more importantly, you have this support from the broken resistance of the trend line right over there. I would not be looking to take an entry like that, and maybe it's going to roll over, and that would have been the right one. Maybe I'll have to use like this kind of pointer today since I don't have my paintbrush up. But for this to start weakening, right, are you going to use an angle like this where you really establish the trend? I would say below there. You know what? CTM 2.0 will be picking up positions already on the 8-hour time frame if that were to break. But just because what I'm trying to get at over here is that if we break down below this line over here, that just becomes neutral. Ever since Honeymoon started playing on the intros once again, Bitcoin has made some beautiful, strong advances, up 50% off the low. And markets are here right now. We have earnings, big tech earnings all week. And then we have Powell getting ready to let us know how he dictates what goes on and whether or not the markets believe him. So just be aware, right? We want to hold that extraordinarily or extremely bullish sign to be able to hold that retest. A break below would set us neutral. And you could see even in this area where my mouse is, there's still some strong local resistance up here. We could for sure come into that area and then break out again. Again, we'll take it day by day, step by step. And then let me jump over why we're doing a little bit of market review from the very get-go. Talk about what's happening. First, we'll start at the NASDAQ, right? And the NASDAQ's a lot of the same stuff. You could see that perfect thus far retest taking place of that broken trend line, right? I'm on the log though. Let me get off the log. You could see that broken, perfect retest taking place. And also additionally, the line that we added in here yesterday, or I hope I did it with you all. But this looks thus far, really healthy, right? Microsoft came in yesterday and their guidance was not really that great. You know, they were cautious and probably because they want to come in next earnings and beat estimates. So, you know, what these public companies do, but also because the economy doesn't really warrant it right now. But they are confident that spending is going to continue. They just bought, obviously, ChatGPT, $10 billion investment. It's going to be enormous. We had the dev meeting this morning. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well, because we were talking about in-house chat GDP type stuff. Great morning. Holding that breakout for now. Holding the breakout for now. And let me also come in and just see what it looks like on the S&P 500. I'm breaking it in here, finding the flow. We just got off about a half hour before going live from the dev meeting. So on mornings, Wednesday mornings, just less time to prepare. But we're here and we got some important updates to share. So S&P 500, a lot of the same. You could see that right now it is a save and a butte. Closing above the breakout, that's a clean hold thus far happening. A close below, that just sends us neutral. Nothing else to say about that. That would send us neutral in this area. And then obviously the green line below, that's when it would be like time to take that sell opportunity. This is a time to take a buy opportunity on the close above. And if you close back below it, you're out of the trade. It didn't go anywhere. But right now, that's to be determined. We'll wait and see what the close looks like. What's going on, Jordan? All right. And then we have 10-year. Continues to look very extremely, bonds are bid, right? It looks like this thing is going to continue rolling over. It's got to clear all the way up here in this area in order, and above this trend line over here, in order for this to look like that this was a big fake out. And that could happen. That could happen next week. Powell and the Fed are going to be the main event. But thus far, it looks like that the bond market is not buying what the Fed is selling. We'll find out which one of them is right, which one is wrong. The dollar can't catch a bid. Throughout all of this, the dollar still cannot catch a bid. And it's coming into this next important area right over here, this area of support right around the 101 level. So a break below there, boom, that's taking us down even further. We're just watching this trend line over here, waiting for the first opportunity now of any type of buy impulse taking place. Sellers in strong control. And I want to take a look at what's going on here. Oil looks good and healthy. You could see it. It's coming back, and it's also putting in a perfect entry, retest of the trend line, and now coming in and retesting above, the support above. It's a good thing we've kept these lines over here. Market continues paying attention to them. And oil is, this buy impulse remains up until this line, this sell impulse were to trigger. That's coming in right now around $75.50 a barrel. And, again, depending on what happens with the markets, if risk continues to rally, dollar continues to come off, oil is going to start going bid, and that could present a big problem going forward. But that's a Powell problem. That's not my problem. That's his problem. He's going to have to deal with that. Oil, look at gold here. Beautiful. So what I'm doing here is, first of all, we have this line, and this line here is to tell us when we might seeing any type of breakdown occurring from this bottom reversal that's taking place. This bottom reversal that's taking place is now getting close to potentially even challenging all-time highs on the shiny stuff. But what I'm noticing over here is after this break above this resistance and then price coming in, I wanted to see what it was paying attention to as it came in and did that retest. And I'm just following my crosshairs across, and you can get a good look at it. It continues to look very good. If I were to go ahead and draw this line a little bit better, like that, and then if I clone this and then just push it up there, you'll see that market now has that same exact line, right? Oh, by the way, look at that. Resistance, support. So we'll keep that one in because that's pretty important. That would be a sign of breakdown below this line would be a sign of things breaking down, but then you still have this green line of support. So it's really, that would just be like anyone who was mad enough to be pushing that whole way, because this was the breakdown where this ends. This would be an opportunity to take some off the table. But this would be a next like potential rollover, a break below this line. And I have to look at silver. Silver continued to be consolidating underneath this resistance, having lots of trouble here with the $24 level, and a break above will be spectacular, right? Because right over here is just like being suppressed. Good thing that when we saw that sell impulse, we said that's a reason to take profits, but not to sell it. And you could see the strength here continues. So that's all interesting. That's all fun. And we're going to start off over here on the daily time frame. Daily time frame, buy side only. Bitcoin still holding open position, 19% into profit. Ethereum holding an open position, 23% into profit, 2023. Boom. And now we have the addition of Cardano on the daily time frame. We have the script available. If you go into, by the way, if you were to go into the Conquering the Markets CTM, you have this up here. You could just click on, this is the daily time frame. You click on it and it's going to go ahead and already have these three preloaded. If you're not trading Cardano and you're trading Ethereum and Bitcoin, go ahead and change this to number 2. And then boom, you got the 2 you want. Or if you're just trading Bitcoin, go to head number 1. Or if you are trading just Ethereum, right click this, go to move chart back, and then go to number 1. And then you have Ethereum, so on and so forth. But right now we have all 3 up. I have all 3 up, by the way, and I'm not sure how this for the viewer experience it works, but this is buy side only, and buy side only is enough to get it done. When I talk about get enough to get it done, that's like exceed goals that people had when they first got into the markets. Now, buy and sell side obviously are more profitable, but buy side only spot more than enough to get it done. Is it like, if you're on the buy side only, am I able to look at the buy and sell side templates? And when I'm talking about the buy side trades, like that works for you? Or is that going to be confusing? And is it better to first look at buy side only and then look at buy and sell side? Or it'd be like, as we were for all of 22, nothing happening on the buy side and sell side, stuff like that. But I'm interested in a little bit of feedback to see how that works. And obviously we're not close to any type of sell entry on the daily time frame. Holding open positions on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Again, huge CTM hive mind contribution here taking place. Cardano on the daily for 2023. And now I feel complete. I'm feel really complete because we have the beautiful dance taking place on the daily time frame. And you can see, obviously, here in late 2022, Cardano making these new all-time highs as Ethereum and Bitcoin were running sideways. Over here, you can see Ethereum, while Bitcoin and Cardano are running sideways, making new all-time highs. Here you could see Bitcoin being the one to make the new all-time highs. Ethereum was joining in. Bitcoin carries the torch. Here you can see Bitcoin making the new all-time highs. Cardano and Ethereum both running sideways. And I'm really happy. Things take time. It took us like 3 weeks to introduce the concept and idea of wanting to add Cardano in the daily. And then now today, officially having it introduced. You know, really excited about that. Let's move over to the 8-hour time frame. We know Bitcoin has taken profit on the 8-hour time frame. Bitcoin starting off 2023 spectacular with a 32% gain. Absolutely spectacular. Gotta love how Bitcoin is quick on the trigger, taking those profits. And it continues. And once again, if we're going to see at any point in time the price resume up, we know right now that the markets are undergoing a retest, right? And we could come over and we could see somehow, there you go, that retest that's occurring. And if they resume out of this, we're going to see on the 8-hour time frame Bitcoin entering back into the long trade. Ethereum continues to hold its long entry, 23% into profit. And it's getting, by the way, this is kind of important and neat to see. I don't remember. It was G Black, I believe, who was like being introduced, and he's like, yeah, I like looking at these type of view. But if you go ahead and you click on move to new pane below to the indicator, it's going to send it down there. Double click, go into style. You could long deviation, short deviation, right? And then add in the 0 line. And let me just go ahead and make this a little bit bolder. Let's see what we're looking at here. This is important here for you to understand what is taking place. And you could see over here that we're close to exiting this short trade. If this green line over here gets below that 0 line, this trade is going to exit. And you're going to see Ethereum take profits. And depending on what happens, I don't know what's going to happen, if it's going to dump down or it's going to, just trickle down over here and exit with sizable profits. But that's how the system's designed. It's going to, momentum based and enter, and then for the exit as well, meaning we'll never take profits at the peak to the move, but that doesn't matter. Our whole goal is to have such an edge that by taking each and every trade, we're able to really manage our risk and look at that consistent gains. One thing that I need to bring up to you as well, so that's how you do that. Let me just bring it back over. There we go. And then Cardano, by the way, and then I'll get into something I need to talk about. And Cardano also, its first buy entry in 16 months, and it took the trade, and then the trade didn't go anywhere, and it let go of the trade, right? 2% loss, 2.3% loss, and well ahead of the safety stop loss. And it's a safety stop loss. It could get hit, but most of the times you're going to see it let go well ahead of the stop loss, and that's just perfect trading taking place over there. Again, and I just want to reiterate one more time, in my view, the most difficult thing is developing such an edge in the markets. I mean, and when you talk about edge, we are like, well, it all speaks for itself. CTM Hivemine is absolutely astonishing. But when then the focus really becomes on that execution. And that's where you need to spend your time. And that's why you should be really focused on, training. Seriously. Like, are you exercising regularly? All of these things foster discipline and good habits. Are you eating well? Are you sleeping? All of these are essential to be able to execute at an elite level. What you are doing here is giving yourself the opportunity to perform in one of the most difficult arenas, the financial markets, at an elite level, a super elite level. Very few people able to perform on that type of level. And if you're asking, is it just as easy as following now the alerts of all the hard work that's been put in? If you think there's anything easy about that, yes. All right, everyone. God bless you. I'll see you all tomorrow because we got more work to do. Have a beautiful day, CTM. God bless you.